Hello, it's Monday, April the 4th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Daily Craig Sports Show. It is a colder, rainy day here in Indianapolis. So, let's just get to the point, right? Tonight's Championship Monday. The college basketball world comes to a close tonight. Last night we had the women of South Carolina, the Gamecocks, taking down the UConn Huskies. Gino was 11-0 in in championship game appearances until last night. So, Dawn Staley, South Carolina, tip of the cap. Great job. They won their second national championship under Dawn Staley. Amazing job there. And now we shift over to the last college basketball game of the night, the North Carolina Tar Heels against the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas a 4-point favorite. I think Kansas is the best team in college basketball. They looked good all year. They had a couple bumps here and there, but ultimately they are a team that gets up and goes. Not as much as they used to. They really shoot it well. They don't shoot threes that great, but they go underneath the basket really, really well. They get to the line. They rebound really well. Their defense is pretty decent. And I'm looking at stats like during the regular season. So throw that out the window. They're a heck of a good team. They are a really, really strong team that is going to give North Carolina fits. They are. They're long. They're athletic. They're quick. Their defense is smothering, surrounding, whatever S word you want to use. And they shoot it well. They've been really, really opportunistic of hitting those open shots when they have them. North Carolina has looked really, really great the last month. That win against Duke in Cameron really propelled their season. They kind of, sorry, the cat is all over the place again. That kind of gave them the confidence of, hey, we can go win this. We can go beat some teams. Coach Hubert Davis has put his stamp on this team right away in year one. He has basically said, if you're looking for a fight, let's go. They need to keep knocking down shots. What they did against Duke was they took the punch, and then when they saw an opening and they started hitting a couple shots, then it was off to the races. 11-0 run, going back and forth, and ultimately a huge Caleb Love three, ultimately knocked out Coach K. So what are we going to see tonight? Probably a lot of the same. Kansas is more athletic than Duke. Their defense is more stingy than Duke. They will probably make more shots than what Duke had before. Carolina cannot start like they did the other night. They cannot shoot 30% and a half and expect to win this game. They just can't. The thing with Kansas is the Kansas wave, the Carolina wave, all these, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 nothing runs will knock you out. They will. And what Carolina has to do is they have to somehow weather that. And they cannot get down 10, 12, 15 to this team. They just can't. The one interesting thing was Villanova got smacked right in the face, and they just hung in and hung in and hung in. They couldn't get it below 6, but it was 6 to 8 to 10 there a lot through the second half, which made me kind of surprised. I thought Kansas was going to go knock them out. I thought they were going to be off to the races. And Villanova kind of hung in. That just shows how great Jay Wright and Villanova really is. So it's going to be a great game. It's going to go back and forth. I think at the end, I think Carolina makes enough plays to get the job done. That's my heart talking in my head. But Kansas is a great team. They're so good. And I wouldn't be surprised if either team wins it. I want North Carolina to win. Obviously, that's my team. But the way they're going to win is they have to make shots and they've got to rebound the ball. There cannot be many second opportunities for Kansas because when they get it, they look to pass that for 3, and they're deadly out there. So it's going to be a really fun game. 9:20 start time, Eastern time. That's super late. So we'll see what happens there for the ratings. I'm sure the ratings will be really high. And personally, I think this is awesome because it's kind of the Roy Williams retirement party. Coach K had a year-long festival of here's how great you are, awesome like that. People have done that. Mariano Rivera's done that. Jeter, a lot of people have done that before, so I get it. But it was just look at me, and it was real annoying as a Carolina fan. Like, come on, man. So, especially because Roy just did it. Roy just stepped away and said, I'm done. They got somebody in that he helped choose and groom, and here we are a year later with an opportunity to win a championship. And that's what everybody says. Just get to Monday night. If you can get to Monday night, you'll see what happens. And I don't feel like this is one of those games where it was Michigan State, North Carolina back in the day, where North Carolina was up 30 at one point, and Wayne Ellington was just bombing them all over the place. I think this is going to be more of a back and forth, kind of a slugfest. I think whatever team gets hot there midway through the second half is going to win this game. Both teams can go on 10 to 15-point runs with no problem. I think that's what we're going to see our winner come from, is a team that just catches fire and kind of rolls away with it in the second half. So it'll be a good game. Excited to watch it. And hopefully the Tar Heels get the job done. Okay, Major League Baseball. Opening day is this week, if you even knew that. They're doing a terrible job of promoting that. They did a great job of saying, here's what happened during the lockout. Here's what both team wants. Here's why they're all selfish. And then they did a great job of saying free agency's open. There was a mad dash there for a little bit. And now opening day is this week. For the Mets, Jacob deGrom's hurt. Scherzer didn't participate in his start over the weekend. You got the same cast of characters. What I want to talk about the Oakland Athletics, they have basically bailed on everybody on their team, and they're down to a $33 million payroll. On the high end, we're over $200 million for many teams. This is why baseball, Major League Baseball, is a joke, an absolute travesty. Now, when we get to October, actually later this week, I'll be excited that it's opening day. I'll be excited that everything's happening. High five. Let's go. And then everybody loves the All-Star game, and everybody loves October baseball, the mad dash to get to the pennant. Until then, it's a joke, an absolute joke. You have teams spending, what is that, a 20th of other teams? And it's a complete joke. They did the lockout because they wanted to try to get these teams all even. They did the lockout because everybody wanted to try to match each other and see if they could prevent something like this. But then the A's go and do something like this. They're down at $33 million for their payroll. They had a great young team that was fighting for a playoff spot 2 to 3 years in a row, and now everybody's gone. So why, if you're an Athletics fan, why would you pay attention? If you're a Reds fan, why would you pay attention? Joey Votto is awesome. Indy is awesome. Now we got this stud pitcher, but what are you going to do with him? You going to keep him? You're going to re-sign him to a humongous deal, a 10-year, $300 million deal, when his deal comes up in a few years? You've shown that you haven't done that. So why should I give my money and pay attention to you? Anyway, baseball starts later this week. It's frustrating. So we'll see what happens, but we'll kind of talk baseball as opening day arrives. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about this morning is wrestling. Why wrestling? Pat McAfee, former punter of the Colts, participated in Wrestlemania last night. He's got a great media empire. It's amazing to watch him and listen to him. He's hilarious. I'm a fan of his. I think he's really, really funny. He's brought his boys along for the ride. He's got great interviews. He's very, very entertaining. It's very fun to watch and be kind of interact with the show and everything. But last night he was part of Wrestlemania. He won a match, got beat up by the boss, and then got Stone Cold Steve Austin stunned him. Those of you that watched wrestling or used to watch it, that's a really funny thing when it happens. And I'm bringing this up because, not to get too hokey, but Pat continues to say his dream was to be a wrestler and his dream is to be part of this group that does the wrestling and stuff. And he actually bought a wrestling ring one time in the middle of the night and had it set up at home just for fun. So it is hilarious and awesome to watch people kind of chase their dreams and do what they want to do. And to see him and his media empire grow and expand, and the interviews that he does makes somebody kind of like me say, oh, okay, maybe I got a chance. Maybe I can grow this a little bit. Maybe we can do something like that. So I'm not comparing myself to an NFL punter or even the same personality with what Pat has, but it really is something cool, and I really highly suggest checking him out. Watch out for the language. It's a little rough sometimes, but I like to ask my folks to follow other people if I find them entertaining and fun. So check him out. Pat McAfee Show is his channel everywhere. He's a hilarious human being. He's so electric. really, really funny. And it all started from him just being a punter for our team. And you kind of got to know him over the years. You're like, my gosh, this guy's funny. So that happened. We're going to, go ahead and wrap the show up with that. Not that I'm going to go do wrestling or anything, but I'd like to grow this a little bit. So I could use your help. Please like the channel. Like us on social media. Subscribe to the channel, please. And share this with your friends. And let me know what you want to talk about. Tomorrow, we'll probably have a full breakdown of the championship game. And then the over-under win totals for the NFL teams came out. The one that's interesting to me is the Jacksonville Jaguars at 6. One of these days, the Jags have got to put it together, right? They've got to. They have to be able to somehow string together 8 or 9 or 10 wins consistently, right? They just have too much talent on the team. Now they have a grown-up for a coach, so we'll see what happens. But we'll get into that as we're moving forward. Thanks again for tuning in. My name is Craig. Thank you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.